Hello and welcome to your Everton Daily. The date is Tuesday, the 14th of February 2012. Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. Every sight and every sound. Which is weird because when I look out my window all I can see is industrial waste. Anyway, obviously it's Valentine's Day here. I don't give a shit, to be honest. Giving away the fact that I'm single there, really. Well, anyway, today's daily. Thought we'd kick it off by responding to a couple of requests I've had. People have been listening back to the old podcasts, seen the on the Blues segments, and have been asking how the hell you go to see the other teams that Everton have, namely the reserves, the academy teams, and the ladies team. Well, in regards to the academy, you might as well get that out of the way first. It's the easiest. They play behind closed doors at Finch Farm, so you can't see them basically. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it goes. As for the other teams, though, I can tell you where they play. Well, one's up in the air. In fact, I'll get that one out the way now. The reserves, they usually play at the Halton Stadium in Widnes, which is currently known as the Stobart Stadium for sponsorship reasons. However, that might be up in the air because it's now a rugby, excuse me, it's now a rugby league venue again, or a Super League venue rather. And a new artificial turf has been installed. So whether or not we'll be able to play back in there again is up in the air. At the moment, we're playing again behind closed doors at Finch Farm, but the reserves do usually play at the Stobart, and until I'm told otherwise, I'll just give you the address there quickly. It's obviously in Widnes, so in the Widnes Vikings Rugby League Club. The address for you sat-nav users, or the postcode rather, is WA87DZ. So it's in Widnes. It's just off the roundabout by McDonald's. I can't really give you much more information than that. And for those interested in seeing the ladies team, they play at the Arriva Stadium in Crosby, which is of course the home of Marine FC. They're actually going to be kicking off their Women's Super League season in the next few months, so might be time to start following them. Anyway, again, the postcode for you sat-nav nuts is L23 3AS. And that's about it in terms of getting in touch with the other teams. If you're interested in going to see them, of course, it's difficult at the moment to see the reserves, and of course, it's impossible to see the academy because they play behind closed doors. But if you're interested in seeing the ladies team, then their matches are played in front of a crowd. Don't know the ticket prices, but I'd imagine they'll be quite discounted in terms of comparison to the Premier League team tickets. Anyway, enough rambling. What's going to come up on the daily today? We have the news. Our roundtable discussion topic is the taxman is going to ask that Rangers be put into administration. We're going to have the gossip, the transfer gossip, and our article of interest is some things from the weekend from when Saturday comes. Alright, so let's get on with the news. Our first one is speaking of the reserves, Seamus Coleman is set to make his return to action for the reserves today. Everton are going to be playing Newcastle at Finch Farm behind closed doors. And Coleman, who's obviously been out with a thigh injury since the FA Cup win over Tamworth, is going to be starting the game. He's also going to be joined by Shane Duffy, who, as we're going to find out in a minute, received his first call up to the Republic of Ireland full team. So other names appearing in the squad are Ross Barkley, Magai Guai, Apostolos Velios and Jose Baxter, all of whom have played in the first team this season. So the Everton Everton reserves lineup to face the Newcastle reserves are Hanneman, Browning, Torre, Dia, Duffy, Coleman, Forshaw, Barkley, Guay, Baxter and Velios. The subs are Davies, Kelly, Lundstram and Hennihan. The Newcastle reserves lineup, for those who are asked, is Alnwick, Zuzi, Dummett, McDermott, Henderson, Kadar, Joan Edmondson, it's hard to read this team the way it's laid out, Ryan Donaldson, Phil Airy, Dan Taylor and Yvan Moyo. Why did he only give the surnames to half the players and then you know, give the full names for the other half for the Newcastle team. I don't know. Anyway, next news piece is Shane Duffy has been given a call up to the Republic of Ireland full squad for this month's friendly against the Czech Republic. 20-year-old, excuse me, 20-year-old has been impressive since being recalled from a loan spell at Scunthorpe, deputising for the injured Sylvain Distin in games against Tottenham, Aston Villa, Blackburn and Fulham. And an injury to former Everton and current Aston Villa defender Richard Dunn prompted the Republic of Ireland head coach Giovanni Trapattoni to bring in the youngster who's already played for his country at under 19 and under 21 level. Duffy obviously went to Twitter to declare his joy. He said, "Buzzing have been called up to the senior squad. Thanks for all the tweets, everyone. Dream come true." Darren Gibson and Seamus Coleman are other Everton names who are going to be represented in that Republic of Ireland squad when they play at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin on the 29th of February. So good luck to all of them. And our final piece of news for today is that two of the youngsters who are out on loan are staying out on loan. Jake Bidwell and Luke Garbutt have had their loan deals away from Everton extended by another month. Bidwell's currently with Brentford, Garbutt is at Cheltenham. They're going to remain with their clubs respectively until the 20th of March. Bidwell's played 8 times for Brentford since moving to Griffin Park in November and is yet to be on the losing side. He also set up 2 goals in his last appearance as the Bees strolled to a 5-2 win over Wickham. Garbutt, meanwhile, has made 20 appearances for Cheltenham and scored twice in his last 3 outings. They were both named in the England under-19 squad for a friendly against the Czech Republic at Leyton Orient on the 28th of February. Again, best of luck to them. Alright, so that's it for the news. So now we'll move on to our roundtable for today, which is the taxman's going to ask the court to put Rangers into administration. Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs is set to ask the Court of Sessions to put Rangers into administration. The legal move counters the club's bid on Monday to file for protection against its creditors. The paper served on behalf of Rangers directors would give the club 10 days to resolve its differences with the taxman. However, the response suggests it's seeking to take charge of events. The court hearing is set to take place on Tuesday morning. If Rangers is placed into administration, the club will suffer an immediate 10-point penalty from the SPL. Craig White, the owner, confirmed on Monday that the club had filed legal papers at the Court of Sessions in Edinburgh to appoint administrators. It was thought the club had 10 days to make a decision on whether to proceed, but the taxman action may change the dynamic of the situation. The two parties are at loggerheads over a disputed tax bill and penalties of up to £49 million. The taxman believes that the Ibrox club owes the cash over its use of employment benefit trusts to pay staff over a 10-year period. It alleges that the Ibrox club did not administer the scheme properly and underpaid tax. Rangers disputes this and contested the claim in the first-tier tax tribunal, which is due to report within weeks. After the club signalled its intent to go into administration, owner Craig White said the eventual tax liability facing Rangers could be as high as £75 million, a sum it would be unable to pay. He said the best outcome would be to reach a creditors' agreement which would allow the club to continue trading. Mr. White is believed to be a secured creditor of Rangers and could collapse the club if the taxman blocked the creditors' agreement. The chairman could opt to pursue the legal routes of receivership or pre-pack administration to avoid paying any tax liabilities. These routes would involve Rangers' assets being transferred to a new company or companies and the old club, formed in 1873, being left behind with the unpayable debts. It would almost inevitably be wound up. In these cases, the taxman as an unsecured creditor would receive very little, if anything. The moves over administration from the taxman could be viewed as part of an ongoing manoeuvre to exert some control over any insolvency process. So Rangers are in deep shit, basically. But we want to know your opinions on the situation over at Ibrox, and you know how to do it. Alright, so let's move on to the gossip column. The transfer gossip first, as always, the source in the story. The Racist reports that Arsenal have Benfica striker Rodrigo lined up as a possible replacement should Robin van Persie leave the Emirates. The 20-year-old had a loan spell at Bolton last season. Talkshite reports that Udinese are prepared to cash in on highly rated goalkeeper Samir Handanovic. The 27-year-old Slovenian international was a target for Man United before they opted to sign David De Gea in the summer. Talkshy also reports that United will face competition from CSKA Moscow and Juventus for the signature of 19-year-old Basel midfielder Granit Xhaka. In other gossip, The Guardian reports that Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich addressed manager Andrei Villas-Boas and the Blue squad at the club's Cobham training ground after Saturday's 2-0 defeat by Everton. The Mirror reports that Villas-Boas, his future is in increasing doubts after his players openly criticised his tactics and his team selections. They questioned the Portuguese's methods after he blamed poor attitude and application for a run of poor recent results. Evening Standard reports that former Tottenham striker Jurgen Klinsmann has played down speculation that he could take over as Tottenham manager if Harry Redknapp leaves to take the England role. I very much doubt that'll happen anyway. He's literally only just got into his role as manager of the US national team. But that said, it's not completely out of the question, but if Klinsmann's trying to play it down, I doubt it's going to happen. Anyway, the racists. Former Wolves manager Mick McCarthy is set to be offered the Leeds United job vacated by Simon Grayson. Oh, that would be priceless, as if this place isn't glum enough having him around. The Cunt Rag reports that Wolves are ready to turn to Steve Bruce to keep them in the Premier League after sacking McCarthy. That'll help. Anyway, Wolves chairman Steve Morgan has backed former Charlton and West Ham boss Alan Kerbishley as having the necessary credentials to take over at Molineux, but warns there are a number of well-qualified candidates according to the Express and Star. The Mirror reports that Sunderland will triple the wages of winger James McLean after his superb run of form under manager Martin O'Neill. The Cunt Rag reports that Ledley King hopes he's done enough to convince Tottenham he is worth a new 2-year deal. Star reports that Pete Ondemwingie wants West Brom to tie manager Roy Hodgson down on a new contract in order to maintain stability at the club. And finally, that's fucking ridiculous, there's 4. How can they call it an "and finally" section when there's 4 of them? Anyway, the Telegraph reports that Man United's Ryan Giggs, who's poised for his 900th game in the club, believes Premier League players do not need a stage pre-match handshake to prove their respect for each other. It shouldn't be an issue. That's why, because they're all related to one point. It's all about the Suarez for instance. Oh, something I was hoping never to have to mention again, but you know, well, I still don't see why we should do away with the handshake just so that racist Bellin can avoid the PR slump. The whole point of the handshake is to show, you know, sportsmanship and respect. And seeing as we're playing in sport, sportsmanship and respect should be extremely important. Anyway, the racist reports that the break in protocol before Man United's league meeting with Liverpool on Old Trafford on Saturday, which saw visitors walk along the line of United players during the pre-match handshakes rather than vice versa, was an attempt by referee Phil Dow to keep Luis Suarez out of trouble. And he refused it. Well, anyway, the Express reports that Liverpool's American owners are set to fly in this week in an attempt to repair the damage inflicted by the Suarez handshake row. Good luck with that. And the Metro reports that Man United striker Wayne Rooney has risked the wrath of Man City fans on Twitter, laughing at Kolo and Yaya Touré's African Cup of Nations defeat to the Ivory Coast. Sorry, for Ivory Coast, rather. Anyway, that's going to be fun. Yet more Manchester rivalries going on. Alright, well, anyway, that's it for the gossip column. So we're going to round up today's daily with the article of interest. And it is, if I can get the page back up, some things from the weekend. First of all, from the African Cup of Nations. Zambia celebrated a penalty shootout victory over the Ivory Coast in the final of the African Cup of Nations last night. It's the 4th time in 7 tournaments the competition has been settled by penalties. The most recent coming in 2006 when the Ivory Coast lost to Egypt. The Elephants became the first side in history to lose the tournament without conceding a single goal in normal or extra time. Zambia triumphed 8-7 in the shootout, defying their underdog position and winning the tournament for the first time. In '93, a plane crash killed 18 Zambia players as they were taken off for the Gabonese capital of Libreville, where last night's final was played. The Chipolopolo players said that the tragic crash was the inspiration for their victory. Premier League, Grant Holt responds to Swansea boos. 2 of the promoted sides laid Sorry, two of the promoted sides laid on an exciting display of attacking football at the Liberty Stadium, as Norwich inflicted Swansea's second home defeat of the season, having lost 3-0 at Swansea last season. Having lost 3-0 Swansea last season, Norwich were determined to get revenge. It came in the form of Grant Holt. The striker enraged Swansea fans this week when he tweeted, "Good team, nice ground, shame they're Welsh." He was booed throughout the match but scored twice as the Canaries won 3-2. Norwich are now 8th in the table, just 4 points behind the shite. Obviously it doesn't say the shite on the site, but you know, there you go. Championship, Leeds fans protest against Bates. Leeds United fans marched from the city centre to Ellen Road before their game against Brighton to protest against Ken Bates' leadership and the direction the club is moving in. That's quite a protest actually, considering it's a decent walk from town to Ellen Road. Anyway, although they lie 4 points short of the Championship playoffs, Leeds have not beaten a team that has finished the game with 11 men since Millwall on December the 3rd. On Saturday they lost 2-1 to a Brighton team managed by Gus Poyet. The Uruguayan will be a popular choice as manager at Leeds, though he has said it's not the right time for him to take the position. The news will come as a blow to Leeds fans who watched Poyet's team go above them in the league thanks to Alan Navarro's injury time winner. League One, Blades pile the pressure on the Owls. Only 3 League One games survived the cold weather this weekend, 2 of which involved the Sheffield clubs. United ended the weekend happier, having swept aside Wycombe Wanderers at Bramall Lane. Wednesday lost 2-1 at Exeter. United have been in fantastic form recently, losing just twice in 11 and scoring plenty of goals in the process. With Chad Evans and new loanee Will Hoskins up front, United will be confident they can move into the automatic promotion places. They sit 1 point behind Wednesday with 2 games in hand. Next up though, 4th place Huddersfield Town, with the Steel City derby looming at the end of the month. League 2, Torquay's amazing form continues. With all but 3 matches in League 2 postponed, Torquay United beat promotion rival Shrewsbury 1-0 to move up to 4th place. Having won only 3 games since mid-October, Torquay have taken 38 points from the last 45 available. They're now just 3 behind leaders Cheltenham, who will be disappointed they only managed to draw away at Hereford United, though that point did return them to the division summit. Finally, the Bundesliga, Schalke lose out on top of Germany. Borussia Mönchengladbach increased their chances of lifting the Bundesliga with a 3-0 win over Schalke. The sides, 4th and 3rd respectively before the match at Borussia Park, were both trying to close the gap on Dortmund at the top of the league. The win put Gladbach above their opponents. They remain 3 points behind the leaders and 1 behind second place Bayern Munich. Now, this was a top of the table clash at all is of course remarkable, as both clubs were almost relegated last season, and that shows the advantages rather of the system in place by the Bundesliga is that type of play is still possible. It used to be possible here back in the day, but there you go. Anyway, that's it for today's daily. Thank you very much for listening, and before we let you go, we'll let you know that you can get in touch with us in a variety of ways. We're on social networks, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all the links are in the descriptions. You can follow us on iTunes, subscribe to the Club Everton daily feed, or subscribe to the Club Everton radio feed where you can get both the podcasts and the dailies. What else? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Club Everton Dailies, to watch the videos there and get your dailies that way. Also, don't forget to nominate the Bolitonians for a Shorty Award at Bolitonians. Mention Shorty Award using the hashtag soccer, obviously on Twitter, and that'll count as a nomination. We need your support. We need as many votes as possible. We want to get them at least above Liverpool FC, so get at it. And finally, Club Everton Dailies is brought to you by Handstores, the official travel partner of clubeverton.co.uk. For more information, visit handstores.uk or give Hannah a ring on 077 521 21395. Alright, so that's it. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.